up, guys? JaretCampisi, welcome back to the channel. I'm currently heading over to Ducati of Santa Barbara to install some fresh parts on our 2019 Xdiavel S. Of course, this is our next project bike. We're going to be actually giving this bike away. For details on how you can help support and be entered to win this bike, check out the Patreon page. It's always the first link in the description below. We're still waiting on a lot of parts, believe it or not. That's just the nature of ordering like custom parts. So unfortunately, a large number of the things I want to do right now I just don't have. A lot of them should be here this week or early next week, so that's when the build's really going to take off. Until then, I'm going to do the stuff that I have right now and do the best with what I got. So we're going to do some belt drive and sprocket stuff and peel off some parts that I don't want on here anymore, see if we can save a couple more pounds and just make it look a little bit better and cleaner. And then once the carbon wheels arrive, the carbon bodywork, the drag handlebars, oh man, it's gonna get really cool. Then we're gonna strip this bad boy down. I want to do a brushed steel tank, as I mentioned to you guys, but I actually decided instead of doing a black stripe, I'm actually gonna do an Italian flag stripe on this bad boy. So it's gonna be a big fat Italian stripe on this, so the rest of it's gonna be brushed steel, and we're gonna do some stenciling of the old school Ducati lettering on the tank. It's gonna be super badass. Somewhere on here I'm gonna write Xdiavel R Campisi edition somewhere on this bike, so it'll be like custom painted on. It's gonna be fucking badass. I can't wait. So anywho, I'm gonna enjoy my ride here through Hope Ranch down to the Santa Barbara Ducati, and man, I'll check in with you guys when we get down there. Actually, one other thing I wanted to mention, guys, I was starting God, this bike's so fun. I was starting to chat with the patrons about the next build just to get an idea. I mean, we still got a month or two left on this guy, but and I actually, I'm just going to tell you the truth. I had pre-ordered a Ducati Panigale V4R to do as the next build, but because you had to actually pre-order it back in December to get your hands on one. But after chatting with the patrons and seeing all the blowback from doing 3 Ducatis in a row on my channel, I get it. I'm a big Ducati guy. I love Ducatis, but not everyone does, and I don't want my channel to just be Ducatis. So I think I'm going to cancel the V4R and we'll do something else, because the V4R would be very similar to the carbon V4 that we've already done. Obviously I wouldn't do a full carbon. I would paint it or do something different, but I think I'm going to just get away from Ducatis on the channel, and I think what I'm going to do is I will not have any bikes in mind. And the last month of this build, what I'll do is we'll go out and we'll start shopping and we'll look at bikes, and I'll get everyone's input into what you guys would really like to see on the channel and try to do something that everyone would be excited for. There's sand all over the roads, so I got to be really careful. Oh my God. We're gonna make it a lot more community, and there's gonna be I want to bring that community back to the channel, where I don't just plan all the builds out myself ahead of time. I want to get people more involved, make sure you guys are excited, see stuff that's new and fresh on the channel, and just doing Ducatis all the time, I don't think that's the right way to go. So not gonna do a Ducati for the next build. We're gonna do something else. I think I kind of got just a little bit out of control with the kind of bikes I was trying to do and all that stuff. I want to get back to why I started this series in the first place, and that was to take cool bikes and put cool parts on them and have fun with it. I don't want it to constantly be like I have to one-up my last build, and now I have to one-up that build, and now I have to build an $80,000 and a $100,000. Like, I want it to be bikes people can afford to own and live with, and I want them to be fresh and new and like always different brands and different styles, and like MD Brutale, like Dragster would be badass, an Aprilia would be cool, like an R1, like just bikes that I want to ride, that people want to see. We can learn about them, put cool parts on them, and they don't always have to be these like custom pieces of art that cost $70,000. I think I've just gotten a little bit out of control. So I just want to get back to having fun. That's why I do this. That's why I quit my job to pursue this stuff, because I want to wake up every day and I want to have fun. And so that's what I want to get the series back to. Yeah, it's just it's gonna get there. Now I'm stuck behind a freaking garbage truck. Great, that smells awesome. And in we go. Oh yeah. All right, so on the agenda today, we're gonna be working on this section back here. We're going to be replacing the sprocket carrier, all the sprocket carrier bolts, the axle nuts. We're going to be getting rid of this plastic, all this plastic we don't need at all, which is going to be awesome because it'll show off that exhaust a lot more, save some more weight. We're also going to be peeling off those reflectors up front, and this is what we got. So we got this Ducati bike sprocket carrier, which is super dope, and then it's black with that brushed steel, since we're going to be doing that brushed steel look on the tank. That'll look super good, accent what we're doing there. We got all the little Ducati bike sprocket carrier bolts. Actually, we might throw this on the rear brake reservoir as well, just a little cap we got for it from Ducati bike. And then we got the two axle nuts for the back too, which will be black, which will match really nicely once we get the carbon wheels in. And again, this is little stuff I would usually save for later, but since we don't have the big parts that I want, we just gotta start with some of the detail stuff right now. So yeah, Trevor's getting stuff set up here, and then we're gonna put the bike up on the lift and get started. Hey, check this out, guys. So you know the movie Venom? They actually got some of the bikes that they used in the movie Venom, and I think Carlin was even doing some, wasn't he doing some stunt work for them, like some initial kind of stuff for them? Venom. Yeah, for Venom. Yeah, so Carlin was doing some stunt work for them initially, and they actually got 3 of the bikes that they used in Venom. Obviously they were beat up because they were like wrecking them and throwing them off shit and stuff like that, but Trevor said he's gonna build Carlin like a hooligan style bike, like a flat track style bike. So they're gonna be using some of this right here and then doing some really cool stuff with it. So that's gonna be really cool to see play out. So I'll have to show you guys what's going on with that as he does it. First order of business, removing this little safety clamp. Not sure if that's the technical term, but we'll go with it. Look how many sockets he has. Holy shit. I remember this, we looked forever to find one that fit this thing. It was like a 2-inch or something ridiculous, right? Look at the size of that one. Holy Lord.
55 millimeters.
That's what it is, 55, yeah. There we go. Brought the big guns in. All right, so we're actually gonna remove this belt guard next. You don't need it on there. And actually there were some complaints. I've heard stories of this catching rocks and actually damaging the belt. So I think it's actually safer just to remove it, and obviously you don't need it on there. There's no like grease or anything on belts, so it's not like the stuff's gonna be flinging anywhere or anything like that. I think it's kind of there because they probably have to do it, I would imagine. But since we don't have to do it, we're gonna remove that bad boy. Like I said, I think it's gonna clean up the lines in here a lot better too. So looks like there's a couple bolts underneath here, and then one over here, and one under there, and then that should slide right out. So it looks like there's one other bolt that's way in there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I just realized they're actually 2 pieces. So this whole bottom part here swings around and comes up to here, and that's one piece, and then this section right here is a second piece. So that should be enough to get that off. There it is. Right? We don't need that thing.
Fantastic.
Good. That's probably, does it weigh anything? Not really. Maybe a half a pound or so. Look at that. That looks so much better. Hell yeah. Now let's get rid of that stupid thing too. So Trevor is gonna actually fix this up here. Since we took this bolt out right there, this is your speed sensor wire and your brake line, and they shouldn't just be like bouncing around in here like a bag of dicks. So he's got a little fastener there. He's gonna wrap around both of these and then put the bolt right back in to where it went right here. So I'll show you guys what it looks like in a second. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see that little black piece there with the silver bolt. That's basically what he installed. So now both the lines have a little bit of travel, but they're not gonna go anywhere, not gonna get stuck in anything or get ripped out or anything like that. So nice little touch there from your Uncle Trev. All right, so up next we're gonna remove the last part of the belt guard, which is up front here. And as long as nobody's wearing super long like hoodies or anything like that,
or scarf.
Yeah, or scarves, which you shouldn't be riding with anyway, because scarves are for pussies. And then this thing will be gone. I like it. The more you can see, the better. I can't wait until this thing's gone too. The NRC tail tighty stuff's coming next week, so that huge thing will be gone. And this is a big ass heavy thing. Trevor was saying it should be at least a few pounds, so that'll be nice. The whole back end is going to be really, really cleaned up. I'm really excited. So here we go. There goes that little piece. I don't think we have to weigh that stuff. We'll just call it maybe like half a pound with all the bolts and the plastic and all that stuff there. Saving more weight, guys. Look at that. Look how much better that looks. Beautiful. So we're testing the tension of the belt right now. It's kind of like plucking a guitar string. It gives you a, what is it, like a hertz reading or something?
Yes.
And it needs to be within a certain level. So that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, 58.
So 50 to, what was it, 50 to 90? Is that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Between? Yeah, so we actually have to loosen the tension of the belt in order to pull the sprocket off. And in order to do that, since it's a single-sided swing arm, I believe it's that bolt right there, but we'll find out in a second. All right, so he loosened that right there, and then I guess he has to grab a separate wrench, which I believe goes in here. I think they're spanner wrenches, and then that's what actually moves this whole assembly forward and back. So like I said, since it's a single-sided swing arm, it works a little bit differently than a lot of the traditional swing arm setups. There it is, the spanner wrench. It looks like you're a killer, Trevor. Looks like you're gonna go murder somebody's child. All right, so they certainly don't make this easy. Trevor finally pushed down on it, and then now you can see we got the tension off, and now we can remove these bolts. All right, so there's actually a nut behind those screws, or through those bolts?
It's got the cush on it.
Oh, the cush drive. Okay.
That I was talking about last time.
So he's gonna have to pull the belt off, and we'll have to pull the entire sprocket off in order to get behind them and get that loosened. Nothing's easy with Ducatis, but I mean, I guess that's not too bad. There we go. Nice. That's what we were looking for. So we gotta put something in there so that they actually come out. Looks like you're churning butter over here, Trevor.
That's Loctite.
Yeah, they said they were all Loctited on, so holding the back side, removing all of these, and then we'll be replacing all of those with the new Ducati ones that are black, and then obviously that whole entire sprocket too, which will be super sweet. But yeah, he's over here doing the hard work. I guess I could have helped with this one, but I had Instagram messages to respond to. All right, pulling that old one off right there.
Cush drive.
That's what it looks like. Nice. Look how much better that looks, guys. It's the little details. Oh, it's beautiful. So we were just weighing some of the stuff. Realized it's not going to be big weight savings, but those are the new sprocket carrier nuts, and it's like, I don't even know what you would call that. Almost nothing. And yet, how much were the old nuts? Nothing like two guys just weighing their nuts, huh? So yeah, quarter pound maybe, something like that. And then what was the difference on these?
It was about that.
Pretty much, was it a pound each, something like that?
No.
So yeah, so not saving really any weight here, but it looks a lot better, and it's all about those little touches.
Green Loctite.
So Trevor's gonna Loctite these. He's gonna go with the high vibration green, and that sounds like a good one to use because this puppy vibrates. Just a little bit on each one there. Go around in a circle, just like that. So just going around each one, tightening them down, well, adding the Loctite, tightening them down, and then they'll have a specific torque spec that we'll do once we get it back on the bike. So getting there, slowly but surely. This is important. You don't want this thing flying off when you're riding. Guys, look at these wrenches Trevor has. What are you working on, diesel trucks? What the? Those are for beating your wife, aren't they? Just kidding. Trevor does.
Actually, a weapon.
Yeah, that's what it's for. For annoying YouTubers. That's crazy. But anyway, I was wrong. You got to torque these down here because I forgot you have to hold the back side of the bolts there. You said 45 Newton meters?
45 Newton.
45 Newton meters. That seems like a lot for a little tiny screw like that. But hell, what do I know? All right. Sliding it back on. Look how much better that looks. All blacked out with those silver touches. Looks so good. Now we got to force this belt back on as well. There we go. Nice. Now we start to reassemble. So this is our new axle nut. It's from Ducati, and it's aluminum and it's anodized. So Trevor's gonna put tape around it. That way we don't screw it all up and make it look silver in parts, so it stays nice and black. Because we like black. Yes, we do. All right, so tightening this down, then we're gonna torque it down to 150. I might have to. Oh, here you go. Perfect. I thought I might have to hold the brakes and do God knows what. There it is. Nice. So now we should be able to remove that tape and see what this looks like. All right, so up next we're just gonna tighten this guy back down here with the spanner wrenches. We're just gonna pull the swing arm back this way, tighten back up the belt here, and we can use our little trusty, it looks like Game Boy. Trevor's in here playing Game Boy games. So this is another special tool that Ducati sends to check belt tension, and you're supposed to push up against this belt right here in this position until it clicks. And then when it comes down, this is supposed to be around 9. What is it at? 9. So what is that?
9.
I can't see it. Yeah, right in between 8 and 10. So that's how you check the tension of the belt. It's freaking ridiculous. All right, up next we're gonna replace this little cap right here. I thought about replacing the entire reservoir, but they've had issues with some brake pressure stuff back here, so I don't really want to screw with the Brembo system. So I figured we'll just put a cool Ducati cap on it and it should look really nice. Look how nice that looks. Next to the engine covers there with the brushed silver, brushed aluminum. Looks so freaking good. Little touches, guys, little touches. One thing we noticed, guys, if you're gonna switch the cap for the Ducati cap, this white piece does not go in there because it already has the grooves to hold the rubber piece. So if you saw in the last clip, it wasn't sitting all the way down. Once we pulled that out, now it sits all the way down and looks fantastic. So last thing we're gonna do today is pull off these stupid reflectors because we don't need to be seen. People don't see it anyway, and this little reflector is not gonna do anything about it. So all we're gonna do is heat this thing up right here, and it should allow us to just basically peel it right off, and then anything else we'll just wipe off the residue that's left over. Should be quick and simple, hopefully easy. So yeah, after a little bit of heating up there, just peeled it right off, and now we'll just use some, what's it called, residue removal. Oh, just heat it more? Okay, that works.
Right off with the lure.
We're using
plastic.
We're using Christina's hair dryer. Now we're using our paint scraper with some goo off. That Italian goo really stays on there, Trevor said. Those Italians are really passionate about their bikes. Look at that finished result right there. Trevor's not messing around. Don't worry, we have blacked out radiator guards coming for this too, and we'll clean all that up before we put those on too. Man, that looks so much better. Good job, Trev. Now he's just working on the other side. All right, last thing we're doing is just kind of wiping it all down here. Trevor got it looking all nice and purty. I'm gonna take it down to the beach and take some photos. Thank you so much, Trevor, for your hard work. I'll see you next week for some more sexy installations. I cannot wait to make this thing black. I cannot stand yellow shocks. It drives me crazy. All right, so testing things out, making sure the Sprocket stays on. Seems to be good so far. One of my favorite beaches in Santa Barbara right here, Ledbetter Beach. Such a beautiful, beautiful beach. And I'm gonna head up to a little overlook up here, which is also really cool. Right before you enter Hope Ranch, it's a beautiful little overlook. Looks over the ocean and everything, and I'm gonna take some photos and we'll do the sign out up there, just kind of look everything over. So yeah, I'm stoked, man. It's starting to come together. We're getting there. Probably about halfway done, maybe a little bit. Yeah, probably about halfway done here. And again, once I get all the rest of the parts, things are gonna pick up a lot faster, and we'll have some big upgrades going on. I can't wait to see the carbon wheels on this thing. I think it's gonna be awesome. Listen to that thing, just terrorizing some neighborhoods. This is such a good bike for Santa Barbara, man. Just in general, it's such a good bike. It can do everything. Look at that agility, side to side. I can definitely feel the weight loss. I think we're almost at 30 pounds already. Man, I can't even imagine once we put the new wheels on it. God, it just sounds so good. This is Santa Barbara, man. Middle of winter, gorgeous, people out hanging out, playing. Love to have a house in here. It'd be so freaking awesome. They're all like $2 million or more. That one's probably $3 million right there. Make some more money, teens, come on. All right, so unfortunately the overlook by the ocean, which is way over there, was just packed with cars. So I came over into Hope Ranch. This is Hope Ranch area. That's like a little golf course in the water area and stuff. So this will have to do for now. So overview of what we did today. The new Sprocket carrier and axle nut from Ducati looks absolutely stunning. Removed all of that chain guard, belt guard and all that. So clean that up and really opened that up. Now you can see the exhaust. It looks really, really nice. And then put the Ducati cover on the rear brake reservoir. Looks really good. Matches everything right there. Little touches like that. Look at this freaking thing. It's slowly starting to come together now. And then of course got rid of the reflectors here in the front, so that looks a hell of a lot better too. So I'm really happy with that. I'm excited to get some of the other mods and really start to make this thing look special, especially once we get rid of that rear section there, that whole thing there. Get rid of these bars, clean up all this mirrors, flatten these things out. Oh man, it's gonna look so good. These will be gone too. We have snap-ons coming. It's gonna look incredible. So I'm super excited. I'll give you guys a little start up here since there's a guy in his car. I'm sure he'll enjoy that. Listen to that bad boy purr. Oh, such a beautiful bike. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, if you want to be entered to win this bike, check out the Patreon page. We got a great community going on over there. We're already talking about the next bike, what we're gonna be doing. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the next one.